2. What do the Muslims think of Jesus, and why do they think in certain ways about his mission, his surrender, and his people? A distinguished Christian cleric and worker in the field of comparative religion has recently reminded his English readers that Jesus is known as Al-Sayyid, the Prince or the Lord, which is a mark of honor. The title Al-Sayyid, he continues, is used particularly for Muhammad and his descendants, but also for some other great people. In City of Wrong, a study of Jerusalem on Good Friday from an Orthodox Muslim point of view, the title The Lord Christ is regularly used. Parinder Dr. G. Jesus in the Quran, London, Faber and Faber, 1965. The important place held by Jesus among the world's 600 million Muslims. According to some Christian sources, there are 400 million Muslims. Pakistani figures give 650 million, Egyptian ones 750 million. Distributed from the Atlantic shores of Morocco in the west to China, the Philippines and Indonesia in the east, and the agreement of both religions about the necessity for surrender to God as the means of salvation, thus make it comparatively easy for a Muslim to address himself to Christians. The sympathy and the history are already there. I have the distinct impression, based upon 40 years' contact with people of the Christian communities throughout the world, that the reverse process is by no means as easy. The Christian, for reasons which are fairly clear but only infrequently mentioned, finds that he will tend to approach the Muslim as one who is ignorant, astray, or in need of saving. Now, this attitude is by no means universal, but it is based upon historical causes, and I believe that it is only recently that it has become possible for many to set aside, to overcome these facts in such a way as to imply an attitude of potential understanding. The Muslim has the advantage that in his holy book, the Quran, every word of which has the force of divine law for him, it is clearly stated that Christians are the friends of Muslims, and that they, along with other believers who do right, have the acceptance of God. As examples of these statements, let me quote briefly from the Quran where it is said, "Believers, Jews, Sabaeans or Christians, whoever believes in God and the last day and does what is right, shall have nothing to fear or to regret." Chapter 2, 62. And, "The nearest in affection to the believers are those who say, 'We are Christians.' That is because there are priests and monks among them, and because they are not arrogant." Chapter 5, 82. The absence of arrogance, either derived from or the cause of the desire to surrender to God, which is found among Christians, and which is a part of their religion as we understand it, which can underpin a dialogue between us, has often been attenuated and concealed until quite recent times by political and military struggle between the two communities, based upon geopolitics and human ambition of an expansionist nature during a period which lasted for almost 1,000 years.